former Cubs pitcher and current Bridgeport Bluefish pitcher, Jaye Chapman. Thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Jaye was drafted by Atlanta in the 16th round of the 2005 draft. He worked his way up their system from rookie ball all the way to AAA. And when you were with the Braves, you got to go to spring training with the Braves. Talk about playing with and being in the same clubhouse with players like Chipper Jones, Brian McCann.
It was a really cool experience being around those veteran guys, and you get to see how they go about their business on a day-to-day, their day-to-day lives, how they prepare, and what they're like behind the scenes, as opposed to just kind of seeing them out on the field. And it's really cool. You can learn a lot from people just by watching them.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know personally, I go to Braves spring training, I think the last 4 years now. I love the facility there. I think it's a great stadium. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Disney, you can't beat that. It's one of the best stadiums. I've been to all of them because I had spring training in Arizona and in Florida. Disney is one of the best in my opinion.
Awesome. And during the 2012 season, Jaye was traded to the Chicago Cubs with Aroldis Vizcaíno and for Reed Johnson and Paul Mulholland. Now, I'm sure it was difficult getting traded because Atlanta was your only organization, but you were traded for players like Paul Mulholland, Reed Johnson that were going to make major impacts on the big league club. Talk about that, getting traded for established players like that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, like you said, it was different, because I came up with the Braves. They're like my family, and when you get traded, you're kind of like, it's nice to know that somebody else wants you, but at the same time, you're leaving all you ever know. So I was like, excited and bummed at the same time, but it was more, when I got over to Chicago, it was exciting, man, and, like I said, I went up shortly after that, so it was a good thing for me in the end.
And you made your MLB debut later that year against the Nationals. Before that, though, talk about when you were told you're getting called up to Chicago. Who told you, your reaction, all that?
It was. They told me we were playing Nashville. We were playing the Brewers AAA team in Nashville, and they told me after the game, they told me, they said I'd been my elbow had been kind of bothering me, and they said you have to go down to AA and make 2 appearances there because our series in New Orleans got canceled because of the hurricane.
Okay.
So they said you got to go pitch 2 innings and then you're going to the big leagues. And I just was like, no way, this is. But even then, I started to go pitch those 2 innings. But after the second inning, I pitched that second inning, and they told me, they said, hey, here's your flight to Washington. Congratulations. And I was just like, it was a dream come true. I couldn't believe it. I was speechless.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then, like I said, you did debut against the Nationals. Do you have any nerves going into the game, or
I was extremely excited, and I didn't really have time to get too nervous because I flew in Washington late that day, and then I went there, didn't even get to go to BP, got dressed, got ready for the game, and then in the second inning I was in the game. Our starter struggled a little bit, so I was in the second inning, and Ryan Zimmerman with no outs, runner on first, and I was like, here we go.
He lined out to Soriano, right?
He lined out, and I threw a pretty bad pitch, and he hit it hard, and I remember thinking, hey, man, better tighten up, because this is the big leagues, they ain't going to miss those pitches. So it was fun, but the nerves kind of turned into, let's get serious after he hit that ball,
And then 2013, you had a difficult year. You missed most of the year with a hip injury. 2014, you're here in Bridgeport with the Bluefish. You've been here for a couple months now. What are your thoughts on the competition level here in the Atlantic Leagues?
It's good. There's a lot of good players here. You can come here and get a fair assessment of where you stand, I feel like. As far as this league is, it's not far behind AAA, I would say, if any. There's a lot of veteran, like I said, guys with major league time, and there's a lot of veterans in this league that know what they're doing. So it's a very good league, I would say. Yeah.
Bluefish, unfortunately, have been struggling lately. They had a tough series in Somerset. What do you think you guys need to do to improve as a ball club? Get on the right path?
Just got to hang with them, kind of deal. We just got to keep hanging in there and competing because we're right there in a lot of games. As things aren't really going our way, we'll have some calls. We had a homer call the other night in Somerset. It clearly wasn't a homer. It was just just things like that. It's been kind of you don't want to say bad luck here, but it's been kind of, we've had some tough luck, and we just got to hang in there and keep playing.
Got some quick questions, try to make it quick. In your MLB career, you played at Nationals Park, PNC Park, Minute Maid Park in Houston, Coors Field in Colorado, Chase Field in Arizona, and Wrigley. What's your favorite stadium or stadiums you played at?
Well, Wrigley was obviously the history. You could just feel it there,
Yeah.
especially when we played the Cardinals in that series, man. It was like 50,000. It was awesome. But I really liked PNC in Pittsburgh. That was probably my favorite stadium to pitch at, man. It was so nice.
Yeah, it's a nice
Beautiful,
stadium.
man.
If there's a batter you would like, or is there a batter you would like to face that you haven't faced yet in your career? Who would that be, Evan?
Yeah, I haven't faced Pujols. I haven't faced him. I almost faced him in big league camp with the Braves one year, but he got to come up that inning, and I ended up not facing him. So, but I'd like to face Pujols.
Last question. What's it like having knowing that people are coming to the ballpark and will see you play, and then are asking you for your autograph, sign their baseball or their baseball cards or photos, stuff like that?
Oh, it's really cool. Half the time I'm thinking like, these people, I'm a nobody. Like I'm just thinking like, I don't know why they want my autograph. I'm just a regular guy. But it is cool. It's humbling. People want to see what you're doing, and a lot of times we forget that as athletes. We're extremely blessed to be here doing this. And sometimes you forget that. But it's cool. It's a really cool experience. It's awesome to give back as well. Because hopefully the little kid you're signing for, he'll be in your shoes one day and remember that you did that for him or whatever.
So, Jay, thanks for the time, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
All right, that's Jaye Chapman, man.